Are you tired of staring at a blank page, trying to force that one big earth-shattering idea to just appear? Yeah, we've all been there. It's the absolute worst. But what if I told you that entire approach is just wrong? Today, we're going to shatter that myth. I'm going to give you a real, practical playbook for finding and building valuable startups. All right, let's get into it. This right here, this is the one thing you need to burn into your brain. See, the genius isn't about inventing something out of thin air. It's about getting really, really good at spotting opportunities that are already out there, just hiding in plain sight. It's a total mind shift. You stop trying to be an inventor and you start acting like a detective. So if we're supposed to be looking in the right places, where exactly are those? Well, here's the secret. The best ideas aren't found in some fancy brainstorming session. They're discovered inside of existing problems. So let's go hunting. The first, and honestly, one of the most profitable places to look is inside other people's complaints. You need to start thinking of customer frustrations not as just noise, but as a literal treasure map. Every single complaint is like a big, flashing arrow that's pointing directly at an unmet need and a potential business just waiting for you to build it. So, where do you find these little nuggets of gold? You systematically dig through places like the ones you see here: Reddit threads, Twitter replies, YouTube comments, even Amazon product reviews. You're looking for those magic phrases like, "I wish it could," or "This product is great, but..." That but right there, that's your entry point. That's the feature, or hey, maybe even the entire company that you could build. The next place to look, it's a lot closer to home. It's inward. What's that annoying, repetitive task that you hate doing every single day? I actually did this myself. I once built a simple little tool just because I could not stand manually sorting my emails for a project. That tiny frustration, it turned into my first real side hustle. And with AI today, oh man, any repetitive task is just a massive opportunity. Okay, this is a classic trap. So many founders go wrong right here. We're all drawn to the sexy ideas on the left. Another social media app, yet another generic AI chatbot. But the real money, the serious, long-lasting money, is hiding in the column on the right, in what people call boring industries. I'm talking logistics, accounting, HR paperwork, all that unglamorous, complex stuff that is absolutely desperate for a little automation. And don't you dare think that boring means small. Just look at this number. The global logistics market is worth $12 trillion. Think about that for a second. A tiny, tiny improvement, just one small piece of automation in a sector this massive, can become a hugely profitable business. The whole goal here is to build a toolkit for spotting problems everywhere you look. For example, go look at job boards. What are companies paying humans tons of money to do right now that could probably be automated? Or look at booming trends and just ask, what's missing here? My personal favorite, though, is the AI layer strategy. It's so smart. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just find a process that already exists and make it 10 times faster with AI. Okay, so you've been hunting and you found a promising problem. Now what? How do you know if it's a real business idea or just a cool thought? Well, that's where the simple, repeatable formula comes in. This is the system you can use over and over to generate and validate ideas, basically on demand. Look, it all boils down to this super simple equation. A great startup idea is just this. You need people with money who have a really painful problem, and you offer them a simple solution. That's it. If you're missing even one of these three things, you don't have a business. Not yet, anyway. And that simple little equation, it builds out into this 6-step framework. Let's run through it real quick. 1, pick a niche with money. 2, map out their daily workflow to find those painful, repetitive tasks. 3, that's where you spot your target. 4, you figure out how to add an AI layer to automate most of it. But, and this is so important, step 5, you validate the idea by actually talking to people before you build a single thing. And finally, you run it through 3 simple filters. Is the pain real? Do they have cash? And can you build a testable version really fast? All right, enough theory. Theory is great, but let's make this really sink in. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to apply this entire 6-step formula to a real-world example right now. Step 1, pick a money-rich niche. We're going to go with recruiters. Why? Because companies are always willing to spend money to find good talent faster. So check, that one's easy. Steps 2 and 3, map their workflow and find the pain. So what's their biggest, most time-sucking task? It's this: manually screening hundreds, sometimes thousands of resumes. It's a data-heavy, mind-numbing, repetitive nightmare that can eat up over 20 hours a week. That right there is our bullseye. Now for the fun part. Step 4, add the AI layer. The solution here isn't some crazy, complicated thing. It's actually beautiful in its simplicity. What if an AI could just read all those resumes for you, rank the candidates based on the job description, and spit out a score in seconds? You see, you're not trying to replace the recruiter, you're giving them superpowers by automating like 70% of the grunt work they hate. And finally, steps 5 and 6, validate and build a quick prototype. You do not need a huge team for this. You could literally use the GPT API for the back end and a simple Google Sheet for the front end. You can prove people want it by just sending DMs to recruiters on LinkedIn, and you can start charging, say, $49 a month for it. This isn't a fantasy, it's a real, buildable, and super valuable tool. So there you have it, a complete playbook from finding a problem all the way to building a simple AI solution. No genius required, just a system and the willingness to execute on it. So the only question left is, what's that painful, repetitive task in your world that you're going to tackle first?